In Halifax minor basketball, double teaming is never allowed in the U10, U12, and U14 divisions. A double team occurs when two or more players are actively guarding one player, whether that player has the ball or not. Momentary double teams on the ball handler can occur as a result of help and recovery defense, but the help defender must make an immediate attempt to permanently switch or recover to his original matchup. In the following example, offensive player 2 sets a screen for the ball handler, causing an offensive advantage. Defensive player 2 identifies this and immediately switches to cover the ball handler, while at the same time, defensive player 1 moves to avoid the screen and recover his original matchup. At this point, there is a momentary double team on the ball handler. The defense must immediately identify and discontinue the double team by one of two methods, switching or recovering. In switching, defensive player 2 will remain with the ball handler and defensive player 1 will return to guard offensive player 2. In recovery, defensive player 2 will return to their original matchup, allowing defensive player 1 to once again guard the ball handler. This same principle of help defense causing momentary double teams can also occur without the involvement of screens. In this example, offensive player 1 has clearly beaten defensive player 1 on the dribble, causing an offensive advantage. Defensive player 3 identifies the situation and steps in to help defend the ball handler. As defensive player 1 catches up with the ball handler, he and defensive player 3 form a double team. They must now immediately discontinue the double team by either switching their defensive matchups or by allowing defensive player 1 to recover his original matchup. If a steal occurs during a momentary double team as a result of help and recovery defense, the referee will blow it down and return the ball to the offense. If, however, the referee feels there was no clear attempt by the defense to switch or recover, the steal will now be considered a double team and will result in either an official warning for the first offense, and for the second and subsequent offenses, the offense will get one foul shot and then receive the ball at the point of interruption. Coaches are encouraged to train players to clearly communicate with phrases such as switch or stay so a double team doesn't occur. Double team situations which are never allowed in the game, no matter how momentary, would be as follows. The run and jump. In this situation, while defensive player 1 is actively guarding the ball handler, defensive player 2 leaves their matchup to jump into a surprise double team of the ball handler. This is illegal and should be whistled down immediately. The corner trap. In this example, defensive player 4 is actively guarding the ball handler in the offensive corner. Defensive player 2 leaves their matchup to spring a trap on the ball handler. Once again, this is immediately illegal and should be whistled down. The double down. In this example of a double team, defensive player 1 leaves his matchup to form an illegal double team of offensive player 5 who is posted up in the key. Even though offensive player 5 doesn't have the ball, the defense is not allowed to double team him. So, in review, momentary double teams as a result of help defense will sometimes occur. Double teams as a result of help defense must immediately switch or recover. Steals as a result of a momentary double team will be blown down. Double teams not as a result of an offensive advantage are never allowed. Coaches should teach clear communication for help defense.